Welcome to Technically Speaking, the show for the technically challenged. I'm Stephanie, and today we're going to be talking about blogging. You've probably heard the term blogging before and might have wondered what exactly is blogging, who blogs, and who's doing all this blogging and why. So we have a special guest with us who is an actual blogger. Shana Aborn is a blogger for Babbel website and also a senior editor of Women's World magazine. Shana, I am so glad you're here.
Thank you so much for having me, Stephanie. It's a pleasure.
Did I get all those credentials correct?
Yes, Women's World singular. Not
Singular?
Women's the weekly magazine you see on your newsstands.
Okay.
And for better part of 2 years, I was a celebrity blogger for Babbel.com.
Now, it's funny because when I would tell people you were a celebrity blogger, they thought my friend, Shana, was a celebrity who was blogging. And I said, no, she's a blogger blogging about celebrities. That was the days that I could, find out from you what Kardashian was doing what at all hours because you had to keep up on it, right?
I could keep up with it.
Keeping up with the Kardashians.
every baby bump.
And if something happened at 3 a.m. and Lindsay Lohan was arrested, you knew all about it.
I knew everything about it. That's one of the joys of blogging and one of the sleepless parts.
Well, I'm kind of glad you're out of the celebrity blogging era there, just because they seem to do a lot of things at 3 a.m.
Celebrities just don't keep to the same schedules we do.
Oh.
They're not reasonable.
And you've got to get it up on your blog right away. I'm just going to throw up Babbel, since that was your foray into the blogging world. And, we've heard blogging, bloggers. What is a blog?
Blog, simplest terms, is short for weblog because we can't simplify anything enough.
So we can't say the words weblog. We have to just blog.
We have to blog. And the people who create these blogs are bloggers.
Okay. Now,
and they put it out into the blogosphere.
Oh my goodness, that blog word. Just so there's bloggers, there's blogging, there's a blogosphere. There's a verb, an adjective, an adverb. There's the whole thing with it. Now, when blogging first started, wasn't it sort of like people would, I guess I heard it defined as an online diary.
Exactly, and that was its original intention for people who wanted to have an online presence but weren't sure exactly how to get going. They would just open up blogs and they'd write down their thoughts on anything and everything. And now there are close to 2 million blogs out there in the U.S. alone.
I can't even keep a diary. And of course the words online and diary, I mean, isn't that an oxymoron? Isn't a diary something you keep under lock and key under your mattress? I mean, we're putting it online. I don't get it.
It used to be, but that is the age we live in. Nothing is personal anymore unless it's being brought to the world.
So those little books with the key, those are not big sellers anymore, are they?
Not so much, although the kids have one you can speak your password and open it, but then they take the things and they put it online.
Maybe I'm too old for this, but I can't imagine wanting that much information. And I also can't imagine, besides putting it on there, who cares about what I do at every moment of my life? I'm just not that interesting. Now, maybe you are. They were paying you to blog, so you must be much more fascinating than I am.
No, but the people I was blogging about were.
Oh, okay, or at least they thought they were.
Or they thought they were.
Or at 3 a.m. they were doing interesting things.
Going into labor.
So when you were blogging, you weren't really keeping an online diary of you, for example. You were actually annotating the celebrity world at large.
Right. I was reporting on celebrity news and giving my own personal take on it, which is what a lot of blogging consists of. People will create blogs on a certain topic and they'll give their thoughts on news of the day or recipes they've tried, or in some ways it can be a way to share their expertise.
Okay, so people are reading these blogs because they're getting what's newsy and informative, but they also want to read that person's slant on it, kind of like a writer of an article.
Exactly, and it's a good way to start a writing career or create an online presence without all that much commitment and little or no money.
Little or no money. We always like little or no money. Especially if little or no money might actually make us money someday. Now, do bloggers get paid? I mean, I presume you've got paid.
When you write for certain sites, you can get paid. I was under contract to Babbel, so they were actually paying me to write a certain number of blog posts. A post is an individual entry per day. But many bloggers just blog on their own. They have their personal sites that they create through Blogger or WordPress are two of the biggest outlets. And they, by driving traffic to their site, they create a presence. A lot of blogging is more about the publicity than actually the money making.
Okay. I've heard of that with businesses. Will also blog sort of, whatever genre they're in, and they're keeping a blog kind of reporting on what's new and what their business is doing and stuff like that, just for fresh content.
Exactly. It's a great way to keep customers updated on what you've been up to. And blogging, since it is so personal and is your own slant on things, if you can interest enough people in what you have to say and attract a following, it can actually become quite lucrative.
Oh.
If we go here to, do we have Scary Mommy?
I have Scary Mommy here. Scary Mommy.
There we
There's
go.
a name of a blog. Scary Mommy.
This is one of the best examples I can think of somebody who parlayed a personal blog into an enterprise.
So Scary Mommy, behind that scary name, is an actual woman who was writing a personal blog.
And her take on it is, I'm going to tell you the unvarnished truth about motherhood,
That's
like
scary.
it or not. And I invite you to share your thoughts as well. Together we will create this community where it is safe to talk about our deepest fears, the secrets that we won't share to our friends.
Right, in public, but we'll share them on the internet.
And if you scroll up a little bit,
Sure.
it became so popular that now she has 2 books out.
Oh, look at that. So she wrote a personal blog, kind of her experiences with motherhood.
And it just took off.
And it took off enough that now she has books. And now everything that's on this website, did she write this or do other people kind of submit?
A little of both.
Okay.
A lot of content is her own, but she has also made it a mom community where she will invite other moms to submit posts. And that too, when we get into how to drive traffic to your site, is a good way to get an audience for your blog by being invited to be a guest on somebody else's better known blog.
Gotcha. So she theoretically could have been, just a talented writer who was, home with a 2-year-old and just kind of as an outlet was writing about her escapades with her 2-year-old, and it's morphed into, I'm assuming this is quite a lucrative thing.
A good thing. She's a popular guest now on talk shows.
So she goes like on Oprah and such?
Exactly.
Wow. I'm in the wrong field.
She's also a good example of taking a niche and really making it her own, because one of the biggest topics out there is parenthood. There's
Yes.
the mom
Well, you have
blogs.
a few, I have a few at home.
But mom blogs are a huge outlet for women who want to share their experiences. There's a huge community out there.
Oh, okay.
But by...
I'll have to read this one, I never knew.
But by taking a certain stance on it is how she built her brand.
Very nice, very nice. So you mentioned what number? How many blogs are there?
They're close to 2 million.
Now, of the 2 million blogs, am I safe to presume that at least 1 million of them are non-professional, or maybe even more, that are just people who want to write a blog for their own personal benefit?
I'd say even more than that.
Okay.
Because it's so simple and anybody can do it. Anybody with a thought in their head, you get on, you type. But not all blogs succeed, and that's where we get into the interesting part of blogging, maintaining it.
Oh, yeah, well, I started a blog. That was my New Year's resolution this year. I said I should have a blog. And I wrote on New Year's Day, I wrote all about my resolution on my blog. And then I think 3 weeks later, I did another post. And then 3 months later, I felt guilty and I did another post, and that's pretty much where it's at. And those 3 posts, I don't even want to put it on the camera because it's really sad looking. I have 11 followers. I feel sorry for those 11 people. All I could think is, wow, those 11 people really have a sad life that they need to follow my pathetic blog. How can I mean, I know I should. And I admit, the times that I did post, I was kind of, wow, I'm kind of proud of myself. But it never happened again.
Well, to paraphrase something you used to say about writing, there's a real difference between wanting to be a blogger and wanting to blog, because it is on the internet, and online fresh content is everything.
Right.
Once you start a blog, you have to be willing to commit to it. And that means setting aside time for it, just as you would a regular job. If you say, all right, I'll write a post when I can get around to it,
It's never going to happen.
It's never going to happen. Or you're going to let a week or 2 or 3 lapse between posts.
A
and
month or 2 or 3.
Or a month or 2 or 3 or a year. And that's where a lot of these 2 million blogs just die out.
Okay, so I need my iPhone to beep at me, once every, how often should I be posting? A personal blog, I'm not trying to make money, I just thought I should have one.
I'd say to really both maintain an audience and get in the habit, I'd say at least 4 to 5 times a week.
4 to 5 times a week? I don't think I sleep 4 to 5 times a week.
That's why blogging is a lot harder than people assume.
Oh my gosh.
Because you do have to make the commitment, because there's so much out there. You have people browsing and they're searching for the freshest, the newest information. That was the challenge about Babbel. Babbel is in competition not only with all the other mom sites out there, but also with the celebrity sites, In Touch,
Okay.
People, Life and Style Weekly. They were on top of the news. Babbel has to be too.
And that's why you were up at 3 in the morning reporting on who was arrested.
That's it. You want to be first to break the news, because when you're first online with the news, that's what drives the traffic into the search engine. That's what brings you to the top of your Google searches.
Now, just a crazy question. How did you know if Lindsay Lohan was arrested at 3 in the morning?
A lot of browsing on other sites.
So you sat up all night looking at other, who gets it first? I guess the police department. I have no idea how these things work.
Well, the big celebrity sites, they have the advantage of having reporters and contacts and insiders.
Right.
So
the police department actually calls People magazine.
They might, or a savvy reporter will be in touch with the police department.
Very nice. Gotcha.
Or they'll be in touch with the celebrities' publicists.
So you tagged along on their coattails. Makes sense.
But really, a lot of blogging is that. You take what's out there and you put your own spin on it. Say for a good example. All right, we have that wonderful, heartwarming story that came up in the news the other day about the teen in foster homes, bounced from place to place, no parents, no one to care for him. He needs a family before he's placed out of the foster care system, so he makes an appeal to church. The story gets picked up, everybody's talking about it. Mm-hmm. You're a blogger, maybe you want to give your own take on it. Maybe you want to discuss the faults of the foster care system. Maybe you want to talk about what kind of family would want to take this guy in.
Right.
Maybe you want to talk about your own experiences. That's really
That's
what
what you
blogging is.
do. You just put your own spin.
You put your own stamp on it.
Okay, well, we're going to talk in a moment about how to promote your blog, maybe make some money off of it.